Me. You can't. Can you hear me now? That's so ammo. How's everyone? Good evening. Welcome. Ngā mihi. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia
I'm
ora.
just trying to be like a recording studio here. It's funny because I do it once a month, so I learn quite a lot for a day or so, and then I forget a lot. And then I suddenly, yeah. Anyway, welcome. Lovely to see you. How are you? Did you hear the waiata?
No.
Oh, stink. Oh well. Try again next month. I did play a beautiful waiata. It was Whakataka Te Hau, the karakia, but it was sung by I believe Jordan Kaye. So it was really beautiful, and I'm bummed that you didn't hear it, but I'll try again next month. I just like to start things well and nicely. So welcome again. It's been a busy month. Not much mahiraranga, a little bit. Teaching it, of course, so that fortunately keeps my hands going, keeps my muscle memory in the fingers. But there's lots and lots. I noticed there's huge numbers of exhibitions on at the moment, which I'd like to hear about if you've been to any. I know that there's many wānanga ones on all around the country. I'm planning to get to the Waifero one maybe Monday, hopefully. So let me just pull up my notes because I made notes tonight. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Oh yeah. So just want to do an overview again, just to wrap up and touch base on last week, which was amazing, or last month was such a fun, amazing kōrero. So interesting. What was it? So I was supposed to catch up with Nicole, but she was unwell. So that's going to be later. So I look forward to that. I will talk about AI a bit later. I want you guys to talk to me about that. I also talked about having lots and lots of leftovers and thinking about how to utilize the leftovers into stream of income, maybe some earrings, necklaces, those types of things that can be sold at markets. I was grateful to have a little wānanga with an artist from the far north. I hope she doesn't mind me saying her name. Too bad if not. Dina McLeod. She's an amazing artist. She makes tapa, or I believe it's called ote here in New Zealand. There's a few artists around that make it out of bark. It's a practice that was done a long time ago when our ancestors came from the Pacific, but I think the tapa wasn't warm enough, possibly, and maybe the conditions weren't as great for doing it here. I believe beaters were found, old ones, but yeah, a long time ago, and seems to be a practice that has mostly died out, but enjoyed a bit of a resurgence recently. So Dina gave me a rundown on how to use resin, which was fascinating. And I was really grateful for that. So I was able to swap her with her some muka, was our little koha to each other. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a go. Haven't actually bought any resin yet, but I have been told which is the best one. One thing that surprised me was that you have to check the weather, because apparently it doesn't set if it's too humid or too cold. So even an epoxy resin situation is weather dependent. So yeah, found that pretty interesting. But we made some beautiful things. I don't have any of them with me at the moment, but yeah, it's just always fascinating to have a go with someone else at doing, their practice. And we had, yeah, we did some really fun things. Maybe I can send some photos out in my next little announcement newslettery thing that I've been having a muck around with. So yeah, that was really nice. I look forward to catching up with that. What else was there? Oh, shout out just in case she's listening to Lynn Davidson, who is an Australian Irish weaver. She weaves out of a place called, I hope I get this close. I'm sure it's a different sounding language to my tongue, so I'm going to give it a go. Ngunnawal country, Canberra, I believe. And she got in touch after listening to our chats. Yeah, so she got in touch and thanked us for getting together and doing this, because she doesn't get to be around weavers much, and so she's an Aussie, and it's nice for her, she says, to be able to turn us on and sort of feel like she's back in class again. So yeah, big shout out and big love to Lynn, and thank you so much for getting in touch with us, and I'm hoping that we can get her on one day, because I had a look at her website and it's absolutely stunning, beautiful work, and she's worked with some amazing weavers in New Zealand and in other places. So yeah, really, I don't like the word, I'm going to use it. Validating, gratifying, makes me think, wow, this is worthwhile if it's drawn another weaver in and it's given another weaver a feeling of connection. That's brilliant. Yeah, so big hi to you. Look forward to catching up with you one day in the flesh, hopefully. If not, I'm here. Also shout out to, I'm just going to mute someone. Sorry, just because I'm getting a little bit of echo over here. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, just I could just hear it echoing. What was the next thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, just shout out to everyone that's not here, that didn't make it. Hopefully some of our mates will be listening later, especially May. I know you've been really busy. May started this little kōrero with me, and she was at the first one, and I haven't seen her since, but I know she's been super busy. So shout out May, and yeah, just everyone that's contributed to this kōrero. It's been really uplifting, interesting, and I've learnt so much from it, and it's just brought so much to me in my practice and my life, and yeah, it's just awesome. Exhibitions I've noticed. So the National Weavers are on. Is that right, Angela? You're probably maybe going to pop into that because it's in Rotorua this time, eh? O Ngongotaha, I believe. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. We've just got such a busy month, but yeah, that I'm sure that will be amazing, and we'll follow that. We'll keep an eye out on that. Also, I've got a couple of ladies that were in my beginners class. They're at the Maritime Museum this weekend. They're actually exhibiting a piece each that they exhibited this Matariki at the depot. So that little exhibition turned into an amazing, some offshoots that were really amazing. A couple of the girls also are in Queenstown this weekend, visiting the little whāriki that we created as a level 3 class last year. It was in the Matariki exhibition this year, and it was bought by a new hotel in Queenstown, and they've just gone down there to visit the piece and just kind of hand it over and just see how it looks in the hotel, which is just really beautiful, brilliant, cool. Also, Dina, the artist I was talking about recently, she's going to be at the Melanesian Festival, which I'm not 100% sure when that is. I know that it's soonish. I needed to have checked up the date of that, but I have overlooked that. So that's Melanesian Festival. I believe it's in Auckland. I know it's on Facebook, so I will check out the dates for that as soon as I hand things over. One thing I wanted to remind everyone was, if you would like any of your contact details added to the talks, I think this is a really great place to just add your contact details. If you have social media yourself, or there's information that you want to put out there, or that you're open for commissions or whatever it is, I think that's this is a great place for just putting that type of information out. I've noticed that there's this thing that I didn't know about, but at the end of these videos, I watch YouTube all the time, and I see how when a video ends, links come up at the end of the video that you can click on. So when I upload my videos, I can actually add links to the last screen, and that allows people to just click straight on them. So if that's something that you think you want to have a go at, or you would like to do, just let me know, and we'll have a go at it. And just again, touching back on the AI thing, it's kind of a weird topic, but I'd like to hear what you guys are hearing and what you know about that. There is talk around that a lot of the jobs that people have at the moment won't be jobs in a short while. So my partner was teasing me. I think I might have mentioned last week that there's going to be a robot that can do mahiraranga whatu soon. I wasn't too happy about that, but I sort of thought, well, I guess there will be one that can do that, but I imagine that stuff will be the cheap stuff, So I've spoken to another artist recently that I work with, and he reckons that, like I do, maybe we're hoping against hope, but he reckons that the value of what we do with our hands will increase rather than decrease in the advent of AI. So we'll see. it sort of makes sense to me, but yeah, you just don't know how the world will kind of go. I think I know for sure that knowing how to weave and participating in being a weaver will still add a lot of richness and community and all those good things that it has already. It will keep that in my life, which I'm very grateful for, and which I obviously lean on heavily. And I look forward to those relationships, maintaining those relationships through the years. No matter what happens, we'll all see that together. So we'll see what unfolds in that kind of space. But yeah, it's kind of something to think about. And yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think about it too. I think really that's pretty much all. I think I did a little Google of what things that will be more valuable, and it's saying on the internet that skilled trades and manual labor and professions with a human-centric value are the highest kind of value jobs or trades that will be valued the most highly in the robot world. Creatives, psychologists, counselors, and social workers as well, and leadership and strategic roles. That's what it's saying. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's just weird, to be alive and to see, the changes. I mean, our parents and grandparents sort of saw a lot of change, but I think we're going to be seeing a lot as well. Yeah, I really am. I can see I'm already a dinosaur in my a lot of my attitudes are so old-fashioned when I hear the youth talk now. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So welcome. I see you there, Janine. We haven't yet met, but I look forward to meeting you. Yeah, I might. Do we need to do introductions? I mean, we might as well just before you speak, just introduce yourself. I mean, I guess people that jump on and have a look at these things might might not watch all of them. So it might be nice to just hear a little bit about you before you say your bit. So yeah, just welcome everyone. Welcome back. Thank you again for your time, your precious time, and spending some of it with me. I am going to mute myself, and I think I'll just say, Katrina, take it away.
Kia ora, everyone. So this is just a quick intro and pass it on. Is that right?
Just introduce yourself and say, share with us, Katrina. Yeah, introduce yourself and say your piece. What do you want to share with us tonight?
Okay, so my name's Katrina. I live near Tuako, halfway between Tuako and Pōkeno, North Waikato, but I lived sort of 15 years in Auckland, so I still feel like an Aucklander, even though I'm far away. So I did level 3 Raranga at the Mangere campus last year. I went to Wananga o Aotearoa. That's where I met Amber and got hooked. So just about to wrap up level 4 down at the Raroera campus in Hamilton, and far out. I am struggling a little with the final assignment. I think it's the first time I've really sort of wrestled with harakeke intellectually, kind of. And it's I think the lesson I've sort of learned over the last 10 days is that I can't do this with my head. It's a whole body, heart, soul, spirit. Yeah, so the thing that I had up on the wall that I was trying to make work and unpicked and redid, I've now turned it into a plant pot cover, so I can only see it from one angle, and that's working well. What else about me? For work, I teach composting, biodynamic composting, and I do nature communication. So since studying the raranga, harakeke has become a really strong ally in that work. And just today, I've been putting together this little new offering of these biodynamic balls. It's a preparation that we use stirred in water to add vitality to the soil, and they're sitting on a little woven mat surrounded by crystals with flowers. And then I've got these other kind of little potions and things that are all getting surrounded with harakeke. And like, I don't want to sell anything I make. I would just give it all away. But what I've come to is this feeling of I could sell a nature communication consultation, and the seeds and the preparation go out as a gift. And that feels really good, that I can weave things for people having spoken with their land. And yeah, so that's the next thing I'm playing with. But highlight for me recently was meeting Janine, and yeah, I would love to pass on to Janine to sort of talk a little bit about herself. Although it's your first time here, but maybe Angela, you want to go next. I don't know. But I've got more to say about AI, Amber. So we'll circle back to that. Hey.
Is it me or is it Janine? Kia ora. Yep, my name is Angela. I am in my second year as a tauira at the New Zealand Māori Arts and Crafts Institute in Rotorua. I live here in Tokoroa though, so I travel every day, and we have had some horrendous weather in the last few days, and roads have been closed, and lakes have appeared in fields, and ponds have arrived in the middle of the roads, and I still jump in my car and drive all the way to Rotorua because we are suffering. The four of us who started together are all suffering from finishing anxiety, and what we're going to do. What are we going to do at the end of these studies, and how are we going to survive without seeing one another every day like we have been? And what's the next step? How are we going? Is Raranga and Whatu going to cause an income for us to live on? What's that shaping up to look like? And so we have all of this going on, and all of us want to put the brakes on and just want to stop and slow down. And we were warned that the 2 years would go by really quickly, and now that we are 4 to 5 months away from finishing, I just really thought, in a really thoughtful states of mind, all of us. And one of the pieces that we are working on for our graduation exhibition, well, they're not poitānico because we are pātahi. It's all pātahi. So pātahi, so, but in muka. And so it's, as you sit there extracting muka and then mirroring, and, you're just sitting there, you're in your own mind. And so that's where I'm at this moment, just really being reflective. So, yes. That's me at the moment. Don't know anything about AI. Only what you hear the kids saying. AI makes really good music, apparently. I don't know. How can AI take over the humans. I don't know. To me, it's just ridiculous, and we'll see, I suppose. Yeah.
Kia ora, Angela. Lovely to hear from you, buddy. Good to see you. Are you there, Janine?
Kia ora.
Janine.
Oh, you've got me. I'm technologically challenged. But I thought I'd give this a go because it's very special for me to connect with you. So I really appreciate you having me along. And I've just met up with Katrina in the last couple of weeks, and she invited me to join you. And it's all pretty exciting for me because I've been on quite a solo weaving journey over the last few years. I first learned, was introduced to harakeke and rāranga in the early 90s by my grandfather. And it has just taken me on to amazing places. But then I sort of had a number of years where I lost my ara, and I've just really been reconnecting with the harakeke over the last few years. And before that, for the 10 years, it was like an occasional thing, but I sort of hit a rock bottom a few years ago and sort of been rebuilding my life. And harakeke and weaving is definitely an important part of that foundation for me. I guess, it sort of has a timelessness about it. I think that's where it's different from AI, because AI is, well, it's all a theory of the future, really. I don't know that it'll be a while before they can get the robots to weave, I think. Yeah, so my main thing actually has been about looking after the harakeke of late, revisiting.
We've lost you, Janine. I can't hear you. Can anyone hear Janine? No. We've lost you, Janine.
I know she's been revisiting. Oh, the mute button's come back on.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look.
She got in touch and sent me a phone number. So we haven't met yet, but we've talked on the phone. But, is she back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so yeah, I think that it will be a while before the robots can weave. Yeah, so I was so excited to connect with Katrina through my uncle had been in contact with her, and the timing of it, because of the opening of the weaving shelter at the Botanical Gardens, which I'm really looking forward to being a part of too. Being able to be there means a lot. Yeah. So I've just been, I don't have a lot of time. I'm working full time. And so I sort of squeeze my rāranga in between times. Mainly I've been making moka and whenu for planning for what I'm going to do with that. But it is a great time for all sorts of thoughts and memories come into my mind when I'm sitting there. the smell of the harakeke. That is what really hit me when I really got back into smelling harakeke. It brings back, well, the smell, the feel brings back so many memories of rāranga in the garage with my grandfather or wānanga. So yeah, it's been very beautiful to reconnect with that. And thank you so much for having me along to join with you today. I think that's me.
Beautiful, Janine. Thank you so much for coming along. Now, as you're talking, I've just been reminded of who you are, and the story behind the connection that you share with Katrina. I remember when Katrina started weaving in my class, Katrina and I met a while back at another event, and eventually she, I think she knew that she wanted to do weaving, but it was just as a matter of timing. And so Katrina came into my class, was it 2023 semester B?
It was only last year.
Last
It
year.
was last year. So Jane Crosby had an
How much
event
happens?
in Pocono. That wasn't a Matariki event, was it?
I believe those are normally April. So there's summary.
So no, I've got a
Autumn,
feeling
maybe.
it was like March at Jane's, and then she said, "You should all do Rāranga with Amber. It'll change your life." And it was only a couple of months to wait. So it was semester B last year.
2024. Wow. God, that feels like a lifetime ago.
I know.
So you were coming to class, I remember, from Pōkeno up to Auckland, and you just came across some harakeke somewhere, and then you discovered some writing. I'm not sure the order that went in, but you discovered that this sort of neglected collection of sort of overgrown harakeke had been planted by someone really interesting from that area, and he was a retired farmer, I believe, that had wanted to do something with his retirement, and had discovered some local weavers and wanted to learn how to weave. Am I on the right track? And then it turned into all this other stuff. So you take it, Katrina, and correct me where I'm not filling the gap.
When I moved to Tuakau, I went to the museum and was volunteering and digging through the archives to find out, where am I, what's the history of this place. And it was through my nature communication studies that I was looking at a particular tree in Centennial Park and the history of the park. And that's where I saw the list of the harakeke way before I met you. But then when I signed up for Rāranga, I knew there was a pā harakeke that I went back to the museum, found that sheet, and was like, okay, I'm going to be the good student and learn what's the name of each of these plants. But yeah, Janine, I think you can take over the story there, because it was your grandfather who collected the plants. You want to fill us in with the history from your perspective?
Yeah, well, he grew up in Te Kaiwhatu near Lake Waikari, and he knew the value of harakeke all his life. He'd seen the weaving from way back then, and through his life he collected the plants. He spent a lot of time traveling the country droving. And so he knew a lot of people from the East Coast to Tairāwhiti, and he just through his connections over the years he accumulated the harakeke plants, and so he would have them. He moved them around a few times because he moved off the farm, and then he had to retire due to, because he all the farming was done on horseback, and he could no longer ride horses because of damage to his knee. So he retired, and he remembered the raranga from when he was a child, and he had quite particular standards of, you know, he knew what he'd seen, and he was wanting to learn, you know, that quality. And my gran worked at the craft shop in Te Kaiwhatu, and one of the weavers there was Geneva Gray from Tokoroa, and he contacted her, and she was the one who taught him raranga. And so from that became the beginning of this journey, because he was a very focused man, and so he just sort of dedicated his life really until he passed to raranga, weavers, and spreading the harakeke around the place. And then at the time when he planted I didn't really connect up with him till the early 90s. So the harakeke was already planted in the Centennial Park. So I was lucky I came along when it was all flourishing, and was lucky enough that I had him there to teach me what he knew. And you know, I met so many weavers through him. But now I go to the pāharakeke and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it's neglected. It's just it's so different from what it is in my memory. And I'll visit there, and I do clean up a couple of plants and pull some weeds, and in the weekend I fed them. So hopefully they appreciate that. Yeah. So, and that's what I really just want to look after, those plants, really.
I was down there this week, not harvesting. I had my period, but I just kind of walked through and said, thanks for calling Janine in. Like,
yes, yes.
Do you feel like there was a call?
Definitely. Definitely. Whenever I visit there, I feel him there. And I feel him with me a lot, but definitely when I'm there, it's very strong. Yeah. Yeah. And I think he'd be pretty, he introduced me to Jack Hobbs at the Botanical Gardens, you know, back in the 90s. So he would think that's quite special, I think, that now there's a shelter for weavers at the Botanical Gardens, which is pretty cool, really. Yeah, so.
Oh, it's such a lovely story, and it's a rich story. I'd love to know much more. I know that you were able to grab some actual writings, Katrina. Would you possibly be able to, would it be all right if maybe you could send me a link or maybe a scan so that I can share those to our weaving group or something?
I'm going to maybe pass that over to Janine to do. Buckley wrote an autobiography, and I got to, maybe did I get to see it, or was it your cousin Kim who she emailed me some screenshots of a few pages that I included in my assignment for level 3. But I wrote a blog on Medium about the pāharakeke and the public letter that Buckley Fires wrote to the Keep Tuako Beautiful Association, asking for permission to plant them and for the town to look after them, and he listed all the varieties. And then there was another typed letter that he sent to the Botanic Gardens that I think all that is on the blog. But I got the impression from Kim that his autobiography was for family use only, that I wouldn't share it publicly, but Janine might be able to share snippets. I don't know.
No problem. I mean, I guess, you know, just been talking to other weavers, you know, you hear the story, that's enough, you know, and to go seeking more. It's just another reminder to me of how important harakeke and raranga is in weaving us back together. Because, you know, this might just be me, but if I turn on, you know, the telly or the internet, I see division in our country, but when I weave, I don't see it. It's not there for me. The weaving shows me how united we are, and I love that. That makes me. I see that in the classroom every day. I see how it can actually, and I think this might have happened to me. It sort of reoriented me to my understanding of where I sit in this country, in a way that I didn't really have before. Yeah, so I really appreciate, and it's so lovely to have you, Janine, and to hear from you your memories of your grandfather. Also the Tokoroa connection now, Angela.
Yeah,
I was
lovely.
like, whoa, you know, it's like, yeah, trust weaving to do that to us, eh?
The Whakairo weaving book has all the different patterns in it, and I started noticing tukaro and the names of the women that had, or did they make those patterns up? I'm not sure, but you know, their names there, and I'm sure Cherie, you know, there's a name Cherie, because I wrote them all down, because I thought, hey, what if there's still family in Tokoroa? Because not many families leave Tokoroa. What if there are still families? I'm going to write all these names down, because that's a thing that's happened with me with weaving, is those connections. You know, I mean, I've lived in this town for almost 50 years, and I'm meeting people in Rotorua who are from Tokoroa. I've never seen them in Tokoroa, but I'm seeing them in Rotorua. It's really, so I know what you mean, Amber, about just that, you know, those connections. And it's lovely, it's wonderful, and it's healing, and it's really centering, and it's nice to be with like-minded people. And I wonder if that's a little bit about what you were saying, because I went into NZ Miki as I hate saying it, but I will, you know, like as a plastic Māori. You know, I was brought up by my German mum. We knew nothing. Our dad left us when we were very, very young, and so I didn't know my marae or my maunga or my awa. I didn't know anything, and that was the world that I was brought up in. And my Māori family, they didn't want to know anything about their Māori side, and I didn't know why. I didn't think about it, actually. And so I've been studying at NZ Miki, and I've become this, I've blossomed. According to my kids and my husband, I've become really Māori. You know, oh my God, you're really Māori. I think, oh, what? I don't even know what you're talking about, but yeah, I've started to understand my culture, and I love that, and I love making connections. And since I've been at the Institute, that's all it seems to be. It's just connections. It could be a little bit overwhelming at times, but as I say, this is all about to come to an end, and I'm not sure where that's what's going to happen, which is why when I saw your group, I thought, well, maybe that's a connection I can hold on to afterwards. So yeah, thank you for. I'm back.
I'm so glad you're back, and there's heaps of things that have already come up tonight, which need to be spoken about more. Like I like what you were saying about. I like everything that everyone said, but something that came up just then was it's the same world that we're living in, but it's a whole new world, you know. But also, like for me, I've been teaching very baby basic beginners. You know, it's mainly exploration of, you know, stuff, everything that, you know, foundational things. However, one thing that's I believe is not spoken about enough and probably should be developed into the program is the whole business side of things. I mean, you might not want to, you know, create your own business or whatever, but it's still worth talking about, I think. And one of the things that we do is a visual diary, but I think a lot of people don't really understand why. And there are a lot of reasons, but one of the big reasons for me is for business. You know, it's like, you know, what we're doing here is a visual diary, isn't it? Like it's a documentation of this process that I'm learning about, this YouTube stuff. So and also it's, you know, kaitiakitanga, it's ensuring that the knowledge is looked after and handed on to the next generation. It's available to them. So there's a range of reasons why, that those things should be more spoken about, I think, because like when I first started, you know, I was a solo mum on the benefit, and then within a short time selling kiti at the market, you know. So there's your evidence right there that it's not just something to do with people or something to learn. There's actually a real world outcome that can actually put food, like, you know, help pay bills or you know. And then as you get more and more talk to us, Katrina, but I you know, just as you get more and more advanced at things, you know, you can take it all over the place and do all kinds of things with it. But I'm not saying that it should be just that, but I'm saying I think it's an underdeveloped area. That maybe it's because it's female. I don't know.
Question on that.
Yeah. Talk to us.
Because I'm self-employed and I've had a business for 7 years and I consider myself more or less unemployable. I just couldn't go back into a corporate office culture. But I wonder, like a lot of the work I'm doing with composting is trying to change the paradigm so that we can each be free to express the way we compost without being told how or why or what. Because industrialized waste management is nowhere near as much fun as like spiritually informed, full-bodied, and intertwined with everything else you love. But my question to you is, if you were to bring the business side into the course, do you think it's about people becoming self-employed, or is it about also creating paid roles within organizations for weavers to do things that, you know, and it also ties in with the AI question, because if we don't need to do the menial jobs, what will we do? And are there jobs that don't exist yet that weavers could create to elevate the role of harakeke in society and I don't know, like have weaving as therapy, weaving as an art form, weaving as more than function. You know, I'd put my hand up as weaving for healing landscape trauma. there is no space in the course for that to, how do you approach a corporate and say, you've got a line of harakeke out the front, they need pruning. Your property maintenance people probably don't know how to do it well. And even if they did, they're probably not going to weave something beautiful to hang in your foyer. Hire a weaver and let's sort this out and tell an amazing story at the same time. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angela, you look like you've got a lot of things popping off in your mind right now. I'm gonna
I love this because we have these exact same conversations in class. Have been self-employed most of my life. Have run 3 businesses, but the last one self-employed, had 4 employees, and then it just, life happens and COVID happened, and I wanted to do something social, just selfishly, sorry, for me, which was weaving. But that businesswoman in me is always looking for opportunities, and opportunities present themselves in funny little ways. And even in conversations, Katrina, you would know all of this, and then it's whether or not your gut tells you that that's where you want to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll give you one example. My daughter lives in Australia. We just went over a couple of weekends ago, and for a birthday, and she always says, "Mum, just do all your prep, and then come over here and weave, and then sell it at the markets, and then spend your winter over here where it's warm, and then go back, and you could make lots of money." And I thought, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, sure, and then I met a lady at this birthday that I went to, Cherie Paul. Now, she's a weaver who has met a lot of New Zealand weavers, and they cry out for prep. And she was saying, if you did all the prep and bundled them up in 60 by 60s for, kitty whakairo, and you did it in whakairo and in cover and then just bagged them up and just brought them all over here, we would buy them because they have a ropu. And it's a bit for them to get up to Mount Tambourine where there's a harakeke. And so there is a ropu that maintain harakeke up in Mount Tambourine, because that's a better environment for harakeke. It's not so, it's a little more lush up there than it is. Yeah, and then I'm thinking, I could do that. Yeah, but it's not what they want, it's what I want. And then when you pick whatever it is up that you want to do and you run with it, you can make it anything you want to. And so it's up to me, it's up to you, Katrina. That's your passion. I believe in you. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever, and I bet your ropu that you weave with, believe in you.
So putting it out there as a challenge between now and next month is, I would love to find out if there's a story behind the harakeke planted in front of the Sophia Gardens in Cardiff, Wales. They don't look like they've been trimmed for a while, but there's enough of them that they were planted very intentionally. And I'm keen to get back to the UK, that if there's a side trip over to Wales to tidy up some harakeke and weave something magical for someone, then how do we find out if, yeah. So I'll report back next month.
Yeah, see, all of that. Like all of that. Yes to everything, Katrina. No, yes to everything. Like, there's no no's. Like, it just, I think the thing I've noticed, because everyone that comes into my beginner class goes, oh my gosh, they start noticing, you know, the harakeke everywhere. They start going, oh wow, why don't people do this and why don't people do that? And I remember having all those thoughts too when I first started. The only thing stopping me from doing any of that is the ropu. Really, it's you know, because I cannot do any of that by myself, but I could if I had a ropu. And even if you live in Auckland, you know, and you're down the road, I mean, and you're down the road a bit further, and you know, it's just we're too spread out. So Marae would have been the, you know, the place back, you know, back in the day, or, you know, churches, places where people regularly congregate, that are on the same kind of wavelength. But that's the only thing stopping me, I think, because I've had all the same ideas that both of you have come up with, you know, that it's just the only thing stopping me is having people to do it with and to support me and help me do it, because it's just really hard. Hey, let's be honest. It's just the physical labor of it all. Nothing easy about it. Like, you know, yeah, I mean, like, luckily for you guys, and well, nearer to Rotorua anyway, you can dunk in the ngāwhā. We have to use blimmin' piddly little pots, Angela. So, you know, that makes it even worse. So, yeah, it's the labour-intensive nature of it. Hey, like, if we were to go around, okay, say we were able to get a group together to look after maybe a few different areas of harakeke in Auckland, car parks or whatever, we need a truck. You know what I mean? Or something, you know, you'd need a vehicle for that. And yeah, there's actually a lot to it. So it's sort of easy to come up with the ideas, but then the implementation is difficult when it's there's so much of it. So even when you're talking about making whenua to bag up, you know, you get this much harakeke and you work through it, and then you got this many whenua kind of thing. So it's always thinking how you're going to physically manage it all, isn't it? It's difficult. But I like that you're thinking about roles, Katrina. I think that's interesting. But yeah, I guess it's just about nailing them down and writing them and you know, populating the concept and selling it. I'm sure you could, you know. Yeah, I'm sure you could, but yeah, it's just that all we really have is the physical side of weaving, but there's a whole undertapped universe around it, that still requires a group kind of hive, ropu, tribe, iwi mentality to make something happen. And then yeah, there's the labor side of it too, which, you know, we're talking, you said the word 50, you know, this is where we're at. I'm not bouncing off the walls these days. If I had lots of kids maybe, and they'd listen to me, and I'd be able to order them around and ask them to help me. Yeah, but yeah, it's just the physical, the actual size of it all, and the labor of it, Katrina, but I love all your ideas are so, like, everyone has their own, like everyone really, you can make your whole own lane, and no one would even if they ran, you know, 1,000 miles that way, they still wouldn't bump into your lane, because the scope it's endless. There's universes of things that you can do with this blimmin' plant. Absolutely endless. Yeah. So do you decide as a group to do something, or do you do your own thing? Yeah. It's yeah. Can you corral people? Can you be the ideas person and then the execution person as well, or the make it happen person, or
And
yeah.
have
No.
you noticed in your time of weaving that you draw people? You become almost like magnets and you draw people to you. And then those people share that. What's a ropu? Because the four of us have decided we could very easily be a ropu. Because where does a ropu start off? It starts off with
Sorry.
people, isn't it?
It really does. And I was thinking about that before I came on tonight. That Te Whare Pōra, what is that? And where is that? And what are its walls made of? And exactly what you're saying. So I mean that the ultimate is to have a ropu, but how do you corral it and lead it, or if it needs leading, or how do you exactly, how do you bring people into your ideas? I think you have to clarify your ideas and figure out exactly what the list is, and then see if anyone wants to pick up one of those jobs. I think, I don't know, is that how it works? I mean, you're the businesswoman, Angela. How does it work?
I wouldn't say I'm a businesswoman. I knew what I could do, and I knew I could make it work, and I made it work for myself. And I was lucky enough to do it so well that I could employ other people. And those people had heard about me and were drawn to me. They were just sort of sent to me. Isn't it the same in weaving? So I think, as I say, it's a really reflective time, and decisions need to be made, and I don't like to make decisions rashly or quickly, because especially, it's all right when I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah.
I can make mistakes and it's okay. But if I make a mistake and I hurt somebody else's whatever, that's a little different. So I'm very, very careful. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure yet. But as I say, the four of us, we're very lucky. We have exposure to some amazing people. Weavers who've been out there for a very long time and done amazing things. And so we've been invited to join Roku, Ki Rotorua, which is amazing. And Matakino Lawless and Christina Wirihana and Edna Pahiwa, they are the key founders of Ki Rotorua. And so they are very generous with their mātauranga around what weaving has done for them. And everything that we have heard has been, they knew what they were doing. They weren't in competition with anybody. They were just doing what they loved to do. And everything else just happened kind of organically for them. Obviously, there's got to be work in the background and some education, and because Christina Wirihana became the first weaving teacher in tertiary education. And so when I listen to her speak. She makes it sound very easy, and then when I'm talking to you about it, suddenly I don't know what I'm talking about. I think, oh my God, I just know this. I believe that if you really believe in what you can do, you can do it. You know, don't let anybody stop you. Yeah, make it work, make it happen.
Can I say something about that though? Like from a funding perspective, at the moment, I'm writing a funding application for the Waste Minimisation Innovation Fund together with a weaver, where we would go into a school. I would look at the worm farm, the composting, the invasive weeds. She'd look at the harakeke. We'd do a workshop where we'd tidy the harakeke, do some weaving, work with the kids, the teachers, the caretaker, get the composting and worm farming to the next stage, and just like, you know, the harakeke would be composted, nothing would go off site. They could stop using weed killer. And I'm just like so in love with the idea. I could do it next week. But the funding is due by the end of October to be paid in April. We can't start till April. That just, I'll be onto something else by April. Like, it's just such a drag. It's so against a sort of businesswoman, entrepreneurial, I've got an idea, let's go do it and make it happen. And you can't, but you got to kind of put all this energy into creating the vision for someone else to decide whether it happens or not in 6 months' time. And I don't know how to kind of grapple with that. And I guess I just send the same vision to private schools with more money and say, do you want to do this now? Yeah.
My thoughts on funding, I'd rather not get funding. I'd rather do my own thing. Yeah, then I can just do what I want. That's just how I see it. I'd rather be autonomous than beholden. So yeah, I think, I mean, that's how I would that's how I see my life. And yeah, so I don't know if that helps at all. But yeah, I just don't like anyone telling me what to do. I hate it, can't stand it, you know. But I understand that, you know, there's always things that you have to take into consideration, and even when you're not getting funding, you still have to be polite in life and try not to step on people's toes and that, so you can do what you want to do with, or even get support to do what you want to do. But yeah, maybe we can come up with something else, Katrina. What you, because are you saying that what you want to do, you want to do it for free for the people that are receiving it? Is that why you want to do it? Why you want to get funding?
I guess a lot of the people that would give it the attention and care and want to learn are often people that don't have the money but can get funding from Auckland City Council for waste minimisation. So yeah, it's a mind shift for me to go, great idea, why not go straight to the people who can just pay for it?
Well, can I just ask you why not?
Because this is going to sound awful, but over the last 7 years, most of the people I've met who can afford it don't give a shit about soil and would rather spray the weeds and wouldn't appreciate hand woven items in their workplace or their home.
I see.
It's awful, but you know, I haven't I've probably only spoken to a dozen of those sorts of people, and there's thousands of them. That, you know, I can't say for sure that they're all like that, but
No,
Yeah.
you can't.
no. But I
So
think with the gene editing, gene technology bill going through, there is a classic example there of how business and scientists are driving this country down a track that doesn't mind weed killer. You know, if we all get cancer, we'll just pay the scientists to come up with a better cancer cure. Not a problem.
Mm. Mm. I don't think I know enough to comment right now.
No, neither do I.
I do think that in the area of science, what is happening is that, like, they've shut down land care research. I was speaking to someone through work who last year they just cut the funding because they said it wasn't paying its way. So I think it's not so much scientists, it's just that it's which scientists they're going to for knowledge, and they seem to be just getting rid of, like, by getting rid of land care research, that gets rid of the people who looked after the wetlands, monitored the water. I think that's it depends, because scientists is a broad area, isn't it? So but the scientists that are getting paid, which is probably not many in this time, they're not getting paid to look after the environment, I don't think. Yeah, so that's very concerning, because I think, I mean, what's involved in making compost out of harakeke? I know it breaks down because I've had it pile up in the garden, and after a while it breaks down, but is there a way you speed up the process?
Yeah.
And is that what do you need to do that?
I think we can we can do it together at the Pāharakeke in Tuakau. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Yep.
good, because yeah.
Sounds to me, Katrina, like you're going to be this amazing person who could cure New Zealand's greenhouse emissions, whatever, and so just do what you do, Katrina, until the rest of the world catches up with you, and weave, you know, and something else will, you know, until you find that solution. Because I'm always about a solution. When I had a wall or I come across an obstacle, I try to look for a solution. When I'm angry or if I'm upset or frustrated, I try to look for a solution. So I welcome you to have a look for a solution.
I'll let you know in a month's time what I find. But good news, tomorrow I'm building hot compost with someone at Ngā Tai Erua Pā the Marae in Tuakau, and they've got funding from Waikato District Council, and I think we can get the Pāharakeke composting woven into that project and bring the Tuakau communities together. So all very cool, and more than enough to keep me busy.
That sounds absolutely amazing. And yeah, I just want to back up what Angela said, because I know you said that there are a lot of people that don't care. Well, then maybe you go with the ones that do, you know, like if there's at least only one of them, like that's enough to go forward, isn't it? You know, and that would be the right one. Yeah, so I think you got this. I agree 100%, Angela. This is your thing, Katrina. This is your lane. You know, you're so excited and, dare I say, use an overused word, passionate about what you do. So yeah, just go for it, matey. Come on. Don't let the team down, mate. Just go. We're right behind you. We're backing you all the way. And yeah, if there ever is anything that I can contribute, just ask me. If I can, I will.
Yeah, will do. I think I have done already. We'll keep
Yeah.
doing
So
it.
yeah, I've got to do that. I've got a super busy month. I'm not sure if I'll be around, but 100% on whatever I can, I 100% will. And I absolutely love what you do, Katrina. It's so exciting. And yeah, please don't be disheartened, because, there are a lot of people that care.
Mm.
And there are a lot of people
Thank
that.
you, Angela, and thank you, Janine. It means a lot.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And so what's happened with Landcare Research? Because I know that they put out really great resources, eh? I love their website with all the stuff about harakeke and everything. I often use their resources for teaching and that.
Well, I know a lot of the person I was speaking to, they got laid off. I don't know if that information you're I couldn't believe it when she said that's what they were told. It's not paying its way. Which, how can the environment doesn't need to pay its way. What more could you want to look after the environment? But hey,
horrible.
we're dealing with politics.
Yeah,
Hard to understand at the moment.
very difficult. I also remembered you, Angela, you said about people wanting resources in Aussie. I remember someone asking me if they knew of anyone that sold muka. And I said, oh, you'd be lucky. Most people will hold on tight to their muka. But yeah, that there are weavers over there, that want to make some stuff. They just can't get it over there.
Right. And we have just got rid of a garden that had nutunui.
Oh, what?
Uh,
Love that.
our tumu was like, it's not the best. We'll just get rid of that and we'll plant some other. We're trying to establish more. He knows of some other strains of harakeke that produce beautiful, long muka for like kakahu,
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we got rid of some. I think there was probably about maybe 20 weaving, but the rest of the harakeke there was muka. Donna Wairiki at Nongataha took the lot, and we were just so happy.
Oh well, we know where to go to now.
We're going to they're going to plant it at the marae.
Oh, cool.
So we were like, oh yay, because we came across some of those and we planted them, and then suddenly we were digging them out because it's been decided that we don't have enough resources for the clear. And we are running around trying to find harakeke. We have the National Weavers Hui about 2 weeks' time. And I'm not sure where they're going to get harakeke from, but it was meant to be Te Puria, and we don't have enough for our classes.
Oh, that's terrible. That's a thing, eh? Like,
Yes.
that's something that's a constant difficulty as a kayako. Where I work, there was a huge lot of harakeke growing at the art centre, which is just down the road. It's an exhibition space, and a lot of weavers exhibit there. And the whole thing was surrounded by harakeke. Well, earlier this year, they just bulldozed the whole lot, got rid of it. It's all gone. So it's really hard when you have like 2 cohorts of maybe 24 students, and you want to teach them to weave harakeke, but where's the harakeke? So it's difficult. It's sort of like it's backwards. When you think about creating a school for weavers, that's the foundational thing. It's doesn't work the other way around, eh? Yeah, so I think a lot of people will probably be encountering these types of issues in a modern setting of delivering this type of learning in modern times in a city-ish kind of environment, because people aren't sort of around marae anymore. They're becoming more up here anyway. I can't speak for how you guys how you guys are down the line, but in Auckland there are marae and they do have weaving, but for the more kind of institutional kind of schools, they kind of operate differently. And I think it's getting more difficult as we get more and more modern and more further and further away from marae life to ensure that these things are being supported and looked after correctly, and they're not just turning into just like a subject, like just a subject kind of in a vacuum, isolated. It's sort of, I think it's changing a lot within institutions, definitely more so probably outside of the country. Like it's different for you in Rotorua. I don't know what it's like in Tokoroa, but definitely in Auckland. I mean, where I am, it's the only wānanga where there's rāranga in Auckland. So yeah, it's strange because it's not marae based. It's an institution. Yeah, so, and things are changing like quickly organizationally in that. Yeah, so I wonder how these things will live on. You just don't know what the future looks like, really. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people have come through those courses, so hopefully there is more out there in the community. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but hopefully there's more out there than I'm seeing.
Maybe it's because of where I am and I'm suddenly seeing the world with new eyes. But I didn't realize how many people wove. I didn't realize all the different wānangas that happen in all the different areas. And so here in Tokoroa, there is an established pāharakeke. And the Raukawa have settled their claims with the government. And so when I finish studying at the Institute, one of the things I want to do is approach Raukawa, being a Māori, because I want to speak to whoever runs their health programs, because that's what harakeke is to me. It's been healing. It's been, just this powerful rongoa just in itself. About helping me to establish a pāhara kiki. Now, I don't know where that's going to be. Is it going to be at our local community marae? I'm not sure. Is it going to be, we've got a lake. Is it going to be down at the lake? I want to have discussions around what that might look like. And I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there'd be enough interest. We could gather enough interest to keep it going for a while, but it would have to get it established. Like you, Amber, I don't like to ask for money. I'm about empowering myself and my, So if that meant we had to fundraise by doing raffles around Pico and Tipare and whatever else, then that's what I would do. Weaving, rōpū, toi Māori, I think they give out money and they just give it. They don't expect anything. If you're utilising that money, that funds for anything to do with the arts, I think maybe take a photo. And I think Anna Maria, the last time we were in Wellington, said, a photo and then a little something that they can put in their magazine. But, as I say, I'm happy to spearhead the fundraising committee. I've done that before. That stuff doesn't scare me. If we have how much are the plants, right? This is how much we need for. Because I see it everywhere. I see weaving everywhere. So I'm about, let's from the rooftops. Let's get people. Let's gather more people.
Can I ask, what would your ideal pāhara keke look like? Would there be a number of different varieties, or would you have your favourites with lots of them? Because I haven't seen that many.
So I would go to Lincoln, although I wouldn't even have to go to Lincoln because we have some amazing weavers here in Tukaroa. Edna Pahiwa lives in Tukaroa, and she was the timu of the NZ Maki. Her mother was Edna Schuster. Tiari, is that the weaving flax? And then Nutunui, they are both Maniapoto, Waikato flaxes. So they would just go really well. So straight away we would have our weaving flax, and our weaving flax would be over there, and then we would have our muka, and our muka flax would be over there, and then we would go from there, because then I would wānanga with somebody like Christina, so what is the best flax for whāraki, because not all flax is good for whāraki, and I've only just learnt that because we've just done a whāraki module. And then we would do that. But we're very lucky here in the Waikato. We have the perfect climate for harakeke to grow. So I think you would be the same, wouldn't you? And Te Kaiwhatu.
Oh, and Tuako, we're North Waikato. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. And I think the reason I ask was, and Janine, maybe you have memories of when all of the varieties were there in the Tuako pāhara keke, but I think there were 23 different types. Like, it's mind-boggling, and I can't sort of picture that would have been enough of each variety to actually supply weavers with all that they needed. But was it just more like a sample? Is that what a pāhara keke is? And then when they multiply, you dig some up and you plant them at home so that you've got enough for yourself? Or I don't quite get the ideal working.
I think that would depend on the weaver, Katrina. The weaver's favourites first, probably. Yeah, and then I guess whoever else is involved with the pa, whatever they need and whatever they love would probably be the best things to weave. I don't see the point in weaving varieties that you don't use. So, or definitely start with your own personal favorites, depending on who's weaving there. I think that would probably be my starting point. I've got a few varieties at home. Coyote, you said, I think that's Coyote. That's definitely a good one. I love to death. What's it called? Paoa, Paoa. That's my absolute favorite. But I found that when I've grown it, it doesn't grow very long. So that's an issue for me. It's my absolute favorite, but it doesn't grow long enough. So I don't get to, and I haven't been that successful growing it. It doesn't. Maybe it's my soil, maybe it's the climate. I don't know. But I have asked. I have put out on Facebook, has anyone sort of heard of it and do they use it? And another amazing weaver responded that where she comes from, they grow like weeds and they grow really long. So I was jealous but happy to hear that they do actually grow a lot longer. But I found that was a variety that I tested for whāriki, because what I first wanted to create was was something to wear, because my whānau is Tongan. So I wanted to weave a mat to wear, and I found that variety was beautiful and soft, and you could actually wear it. But I couldn't get enough of it, and it wasn't long enough. So I went with punga punga, which is I've never heard of it, but there's lots of it at the botanical gardens, and it grows really well, really long and very abundant. Not the longest I came across, but the best growing. It seemed to just be prolifically growing, like amazingly. So you make all kinds of compromises, like, your favorite one, the softest, most beautiful, most glossiest one doesn't grow long enough or quickly enough, or all those things. So my compromise eventually was the punga punga, and I'm actually really glad that I used it, because it's stunning. It's glossy and just absolutely beautiful. So it's sort of, I think, an underrated, undercover star kind of whāriki, harakeke. So for me, I would definitely just grow my favorites, and whoever I was going in with the pa harakeke with. That's what I would do, Katrina. What are your favorites? What are your favorites so far, Katrina?
I'm trying so many different ones. I don't. There's one at Tepene School that comes out this kind of glossy. It's almost got a silvery sheen to it as it dries, and when I'm doing the happening, it's like, that's the one. And then I just get from 2 or 3 of them. I never know which one it is. So each time I go for a harvest, I have to harvest from a few. I need to label them. I love the one here at home, and I think I'm a little bit like Janine though. For me, it's kind of like that the plant care is top. In my mind, I'm thinking of a plant in a suburban street in Tuako that I've promised the owners I'll tidy up, compost the leaves, and I'm not done yet. And so I feel that connection to that specific plant that I'm not free to dabble with any others until the job is done.
Yeah, I love that you have all these other layers to, you know, what you're doing with your plants. So they resonate on a few other levels too for you. Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit more, yeah, interesting. I wanted to ask you too, Angela. I saw those amazing whāraki. Was it 3 or 4 of you? 4 of you, eh?
So last year there were 4 of us accepted into NZ Maki. So yeah.
And so 4 of you made whāraki and they all go together. So I saw those and I just was like, wow, amazing, beautiful.
we I don't know, we just all 4 of us gel together. So everything that we do, we kind of do together.
Amazing.
We wānanged around making a whāraki, or each, because you have to make your own. You don't get to make that with anybody, and so everything we do at NZ Maki is a standalone. So I'd seen a picture of my husband's marae. There was some whāraki down on the ground, and we all liked the pattern. And so we all just said, yep, okay. And then we decided that we would do red, white, and black. And we thought if we did them all the same, but a little different, we had a little secret thing going on.
Nice.
That we would put so much love into them that they would go together, because everything that we sell, it's a part of getting a scholarship to study at NZ Maki. Is we don't get to keep anything that we make. Everything is sold in the Ahurua Gallery. So we thought if we made these whāraki, they would go together to a marae. That's what we thought, and they'll live together happily forever, ever. Yes, that's the one. And so we sat down and we did the numbers, and we thought, right, they had to be for Kairaranga comb, which is, 5 mil or whatever. And so we sat down and we crunched the numbers, and we thought, right, they'll be 6 foot, because we have to make them by ourselves. Well, they weren't. I think mine and Stevie's were 8'5". Kimberly's was 8'9", and Leah's was 8'3". And we had to weave those by ourselves. And it was like, oh my God, what did we get out? They had to literally move us. There wasn't a classroom big enough. And so they thought, why don't you weave up there and you weave over there, and then we'll move you over to another building. And we just didn't want to be separated. To me, that wasn't how you wove a whāraki. All the rangahau I had done around weaving a whāraki was you did it together, And so they were like, all right then, bloody moaners. So they put us in this right in the corner of Te Puia, and we loved it because it was right out of the way of everybody. And for those 3 weeks, Monday to Friday, and some Saturdays and some Sundays, we just, we laughed and we cried and we ate and we talked and we ate and we lay around on our phones doing nothing, and then we ate, and then and it was just a really I didn't think we were ever going to finish, but we did, and that was the end result of what we produced. And we are lucky at NZ Maki because we in Te Rito, we're not whakairo. Whakairo is everything, and we're not Takapu, Stone and Bone, because they make a lot of money. for the school. So we're just the weaving school. They're just, and I refuse to be just the weaving school. So I utilise everything that they have to offer, and so I get in touch with the marketing team and I say to the girls, right, we are going to order some white costumes from Tumu, and we're going to wear our pew that we wear that we made, and we're going to do a photo shoot. And the girls are like, are we? Okay. And we do it. And then, yeah, we made these whāriki, and I said, hey, I want to shoot them in front of the marae. They're for a marae, you know, we've got a wharenui right here. That's what I want to do, you know. And they go, oh, okay. And they do it. And you know what? We have more views. We've had more views than they've ever had on anybody else's work in the history of those kuras. And that's why I was saying to you, Katrina, if you want something to happen, utilize what you know, make it happen. You know, believe it. Just bloody make it happen, girl. You can do it. So, what was your question, Amber?
You know, that was brilliant, and I really like their model. Like, you know, that you guys, it's like you get a scholarship, but you actually paying your way by making your stuff and selling it. You know, that's a great model. And I do love that. I have been following the social media. That's been a really brilliant, with you guys, it's been a brilliant campaign. You would have gotten a lot of marketing recruitment out of that for the school. And yeah, I think that's cleverly used. I saw the aerial shots. I don't know if you guys used a drone or whatever it was, but yeah, I've been really impressed with the marketing that's happened with all of your work. I love those shots and the sulfur, like with the you know, the steam and that. Those shots are beautiful. They're brilliant. And yeah, just the whole lot. Even those ones, I think you did a campaign with you were making some kete, some whiri kete with the open weave, and sharing kupu around some of the techniques and things. I thought those were really nice. I think they were really well received too. I noticed a lot of people on social media, they were resharing those because they were so informative, as well as beautiful, seeing your hands actually do it. I know Stevie's hands too. Yeah, it's amazing to see her doing what she's doing. But yeah, that's the thing about what we have. It's so visually, graphically interesting and stunning that it markets itself. You don't have to do much. You just take a photo of it and put it online, and it's gone, absolutely gone. Yeah. So I don't even know what I was talking about, but just responding to what you know, what you were saying, you know. Yeah. The great thing, that's what this is great for too. This is useful. I think, you know, if they're just useful skills, online skills. I think doing a YouTube live stream, this is the first time I've done it properly. I had a go last week. Did you notice the one last week I did? It was just me sitting there talking to myself because I forgot how to share the Google Meet into it. So, you know, it's yeah, it's all learning, but it's got to be leading somewhere. And it definitely is, because I know that each week I try a different tool and I learn something. It's almost like weaving itself. It's just you know, the modern technology. You know, our mahiraranga is the ancient technology. This is the new. But yeah, bringing it all together is really cool. Yeah, so I don't know, ladies. Did we get anywhere tonight? I think we got somewhere. It's been an interesting korero. I love this business talk though. I'm not naturally a business person. I'm good at spending. I'm
I
not
think
good at
that's
putting money
part
in
of
the bank.
Yeah, I think using money is part of good business because those choices about where your money goes and what businesses you supporting with it. It's a part of it. I wanted to ask Amber, you said in your email, I think that you've got some weavers lined up to interview for your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Can you tell us who?
People, they're just people that have been on here before. Do you want to be one? And you, Angela? Have they all been on before? I mean, it's just an area that I'd like to go into. I've asked some of the people that have come to these if they would mind us having a one-on-one and just really diving into who they are and what they do on that, because I think that I would like to grow that side of things. I think that could be a really amazing resource.
Yes.
Just to have even just people that are just starting or whatever. I think that as something to look back on or as promotional material for them. A number of reasons, but yeah, it's not. Well, I haven't asked any famous weavers yet, but I do hope to snag some even more famous than you two one day. Once I maybe have a little bit more respect around what I'm doing here on YouTube. So we'll see.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, no big names yet, Katrina.
Oh, well, it wasn't,
there are actually some big names,
but it's
but
like,
not.
Please get those interviews recorded. I'm looking forward to watching them, and I'd love to share them further.
And I also was going to ask you, how do I do that? Like, just like this? Do I just do it like this, or do I go and see them, or? I suppose it'll just be whatever works, for them and me, I suppose, and it'll just be whatever it is.
And it can change and evolve, and it can be different for each person. That you'll find your flow. Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, little just expanding things a little bit. Seeing what happens. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this. I don't know if did you notice if this was actually 4 weeks since the last one? It was.
Yep, it was exactly 4 weeks.
Okay, because it felt like a lifetime. I was like waiting so hard for this. I was excited about it, like I just really couldn't wait for the next one. So that's good. Because sometimes I lose track of time, and I wondered maybe if I'd gone an extra week or something. But no, that's good. Well, I think we've been going almost 2 hours. We better wrap up. Any last things you want to say or mention or ask or anything?
I can't make the next one. I'll be out of the country, but I'll definitely make the December one if there's a December one.
It will be.
Just email me that
thing.
But I really loved tonight's discussion. I'm not sure we were meant to be talking about AI or.
Oh, we forgot. Cool. I don't really want to talk about it.
It'll happen when it's meant to happen. But lovely to meet you, Janine. Maybe you'll be at the next one as well, or we'll talk with you again another time.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you too. Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you again, Katrina.
Yes.
Can't
yeah.
wait to hear about what you're doing around composting. I told all the girls that coulda that there is a way to compost harakeke, and they are excited. We are all waiting for you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I'd love to come down.
You see, it might just end up being a new course, Katrina. What do you think about teaching?
Well, I mean, it's what I do already.
Yeah.
I quite like the way I'm working with the marae here in Tuako, where it's just 6 months, and I'm like, you're not to be dependent on me. I'll be looking for the young person or the person with the green fingers that I just teach them everything, and then I'm off. Like,
That's the
you
one.
can do this, yeah. And like each person I work with, I'll learn more vocab so I can present it better and better. But for now, I'm just looking for people that want to give it a go and get stuck in. So yeah. Hokoroa and Nurotorua are not that far from Tuako.
That's right.
That's right.
Wow, brilliant. Well, lovely. It's been amazing again. Yeah, can't thank you enough. I love this so much. Yeah, and we won't, if we don't see you next month, we'll see you the next month. I plan on being here for forever, once a month, every 4 weeks. It's great. It's a good deal. It's the best meeting in town. Yeah, and I just really enjoy it. I come away, so yeah, my cup is full, and I've got a lot more things. A lot of things have landed better, having had an opportunity to discuss them with some other weavers, and yeah, hopefully we're able to contribute something to Te Ao Raranga, around the world. Our chats, and hopefully they spark something for other weavers around the world. Hopefully we'll hear from some more of them, and they'll get in touch and they'll want to come and have a chat with us. That would be amazing. But yeah, until we meet again, I wish you well in your creative endeavors and just in life in general. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your time and attention. And I'll just finish with our little karakia. Thank you. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa, te atu ai o te tātou arakia I hukaraiti, me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhinga taitanga ki te wairua tapu ake, ake, āmene.
Amene. Ka kite.
Ka kite.
Ka kite, Janine. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Janine. Lovely to speak to you.